common complaint from today's senior managers as they look at the young people who are in their teams is just these young people don't get it. They don't look as if they're hard workers. They don't look as if they're up for the task. They're always in their devices. The complaints are in fact quite numerous. Well, we need to be careful. We need to be very careful in what we think we're seeing when we look at today's young people. So have a look at this photo of my daughter and her friends at a school social function. It's one of my favorite photographs because it happens to be of my daughter and her friends. That's my daughter Hannah on the far right hand side at a school social function. And it appears as if these girls are not actually engaging in social activity with each other. They're at a school social function but all in their phones. And yet when this photograph was taken and we approached the girls and said, "Come on, it's a social function, what are you doing?" They explained that we didn't understand what had happened. In fact, there weren't just these 4 girls in this conversation. There were actually 7 girls taking part in a conversation. 3 of them weren't actually at the event. And out of respect for the 3 who weren't there, the 4 who were not having more of a conversation with each other than all 7 of them could have together. That blew my mind, I'll be honest, when I first heard that, because that's a level of etiquette I didn't even know existed. Because you see, I still see the real world and the digital world as 2 different places. And the fact that I call one of them the real world is part of the problem. You see, these Generation Y young people, they see everything as integrated. When we've helped our clients to understand this, we've been able to change the way that they do meetings, for example, allowing more technology into the meetings, allowing young people to actually do some of the to-do items while they're actually sitting in the meeting. It does change the way you have to manage a meeting. You sometimes have to give a to-do item and then leave a few seconds or minutes for people in the room to actually do it, rather than writing down to-do on their lists and doing it later, to actually do it in the meeting. You might even, as the chairperson of the meeting, have to tell people when there's a particular part of the meeting that you need their attention for, so that they're not half in the meeting, half in their devices. So it changes the style of management of a meeting. But it's well worth it to experiment with this style so that you can engage young people, these digital natives, in your meetings. This is the type of change of mindset that we need. To not see young people as completely distracted by their devices, but to see them as engaging with our world in a different way. Not a bad way, not a worse way, just a different way. And understanding that different is not worse or bad. So look at Generation Y, look at the digital natives in your team, and maybe you'll see something you haven't seen before. We certainly need to make sure that we don't just moan and whine about them, but we actually embrace some of the skills and advantages they have of being digital natives.